I'm going to liken gratitude to the deathless. The deathless. See, this has not been a talk most people have had. The deathless. How does that? So let's think about it for a minute. So just think about your tradition, whichever. And we come from a varied uh, set of root traditions, frequently Christianity or Judaism, but not only, right? There are fairly many others. So if you were going to imagine how gratitude might be connected to this idea of the deathless, and then just think about your
L-E-S-S.
Deathless, Less, and then yes, I know it's so hard. No, no, can't do it. I know, Tanya. I might let him over there. So here's the agreement. If we let him over and he continues to do this, then I'd like you to just bring him upstairs and then let him rest up there. Okay. Yeah. There's no treats. So he has to check that because Tanya is an amazing treat maker besides, not just provider. Okay, so the deathless. So what does the tradition say, your tradition say this week, this month? There's Passover on the 1st, which was about liberation, freedoms, escaping suffering, right? I don't know much. It wasn't my root tradition, but I know enough to understand its contribution to this idea. I have we're going to use one of the Jewish tradition practices this week, actually, because most of us, only a few, most of us don't know those practices. And even when we came from that root tradition, by the way, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, or another, or Buddhism or another, we actually don't do the practices, most likely, or a few. So we're going to practice one this week in our 100 days of gratitude. How might gratitude be related to this idea of the deathless?
Keeping an open heart.
Keeping an open heart no matter what, conditionless. Good news, bad news, birthing, deathing, things being born, things dying, that there is always something abiding, even when uh, we don't have evidence, we might say, as was true in the parables of Christ, right? There was no evidence that there was this possibility of, well, one might say rebirth. That's actually just another word for the deathless. Nothing dies permanently forever. And we, of course, know it in the physics, right? We understand the physics of this. All the atoms throughout all time. Abraham Lincoln, right here. In some way, we frequently forget, including, of course, loved ones and trees and cycads, I guess. I have a couple in the yard. When I bought them, the person was a cycad um, specialist who said, this is the oldest plant, comes from the family of the oldest plants in the world on Earth. And so you're looking at the true dinosaur of all plants here in the cycad. Cycad is a spiny palm. It would look like it looks palm-ish.
It's actually related to the pine family.
Yes, and it related to the pineapple, which we're going to be eating today. So you're eating something from the very beginning, probably one of the first plants. Any other ideas about this?
There's a gift. There's a gift in deathlessness in both directions.
That's right. That's right. So it's actually true. There is a gift in death. Hard to feel that. And there is a gift then in what goes beyond death. And of course, the Christians called that something maybe like salvation, or Buddhists might call that something like rebirth. Right. That there is a gift not only in the dissolution, there is a gift in its reappearance. And we frequently can see the one, right? Because then we have grandchildren and children, and puppies, and all, right? And we say, this is wonderful and beautiful. And we forget all that had to happen for that to occur, which was infinite deaths, right? Of great grandparents and great, 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 really throughout all time. And gratitude says, at least this, I am aware of these rare opportunity, this rare birth, number one, and then the kindness, all of the kindness that has come throughout all time that has allowed me to sit here like this. And it says, in the remembering, in the recollection, and we have all kinds, right? The five recollections of aging, illness, death, loss, and karma on the one side, and the recollection of all the goodness that is both present and here now and has come throughout all time. You hear me say it a lot. That equals nothing but profound gratitude, right? No matter how it went, no matter if you liked it or you didn't, no matter if you appreciated the person at the time or not. And the Buddha himself uses parents as a primary practice. That no matter what else has occurred, and it's very difficult for us, we must give them our gratitude first because we have been accorded this precious human life by virtue of them. They did not choose otherwise. They cared for us in the way they could. They fed us in the way they could. They offered us safety in the way they could. And the rest, then, according to the Buddha, is up to us. Is up to us. There is no accounting for if only my parents had anything, then I would be kind or whole or peaceful. And so, very unlike our Western psychology culture, it says, oh no, 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 don't try to use that. That is not the excuse for what you have not cultivated. In fact, be grateful for the opportunity itself. It's a very different perspective, isn't it? And then show them gratitude by living well is a second teaching, which is don't just say thank you, be a good person. And that this is the greatest gift anyone could offer. And actually, by virtue of being that good person, you are extending the Dharma to your parents who may have needed it, who may, by virtue of their confusion, right, their suffering, their pain, their fears, could not fully awaken, and that by our very awakening, in any moment that that occurs, we are offering a profound gift to them, right? And it is true. My mother's in care right now, and I really see both the kindness of others towards her, which I have had such a deep appreciation for, a patience that I'm struck by. She's asked the same thing maybe 100,000 times now in a week, and the response is simply, you're okay, you're safe, we're here, right, your family's here, they remind her. Every everything's going well, everything's going well, which I really appreciate and love. And then I appreciate those parents who had those people who were loving and kind and extending, actually chose a profession of care in behalf of others. Now, I don't know any of the specifics, do I? Not at all. And actually, it's not actually the most primary point. It doesn't mean that there wasn't difficulty, right? We could all name it. And then that my father chopped off his thumb practically, cutting a salad. Uh, I was traumatized by the blood. He said, wash off that lettuce, and we ate it.
A little extra iron.
A little extra iron in there. I actually need it now. Thanks, Dad. Right. And I didn't know this for 60 something years till my husband pulls out a knife rather quickly from the thing, and my body goes, blah, blah, blah. I almost, right? And then I go, oh my God, my father, I'm watching the thumb, like, and he's going, wash that off. It'll be fine. Uh, I got a bunch of things from that, didn't I? Not, it wasn't just traumatic. It was also go on, get it together, do what you can. You're still going to need to eat. Um, it's all right. You didn't. I didn't die. It was some evidence. Yeah, there's one of those cuts. Okay. So gratitude and the deathless. We're going to look at the website in a little bit, but I want to just see if I can't get to this notes. So the Buddha said two things very specifically about gratitude. And remember that the Buddha does not mistake gratitude for appreciation. Appreciation is towards this beautiful day, the beautiful flowers, the garden that's growing. But he says gratitude is a very special effect, and it's saved for the direct intentioned acts of others towards the good. The gratitude isn't just what a beautiful day. Now, we're going to approach gratitude differently in our 100 days of gratitude because we're going to get to include things like nature, the sense of connectedness to nature, right? But the Buddha said, no, gratitude is, that's appreciation for the Buddha. Gratitude is directed towards the heart mind that with intent contributed something to the good. And that welling up, that open space, that warmth, that light, whatever it is that you experience, is actually what gratitude is. And he gave a couple of parables about it. Here's one of the things he says: there are two people who are hard to find in the world. One who does a kindness first. That's a key word. First. And the one who is grateful for a kindness done. One who does the kindness first, and the one who is grateful for it being done. What does that suggest? These are different words. It's not given and received. He doesn't use those words, does he? He doesn't put it in, and I got, and out of my getting, I felt this at all. He doesn't link them. He says, one who does a kindness and it's observed, and one who recognizes that the kindness was done, not gifted, not given to you.
So it's the initiation of the intention coming from the individual first.
Towards anyone
Towards anyone
at any time,
at any time.
not you. Oh, because we get it mixed up, don't we? Frequently, we go, well, they didn't include me. I wasn't at that party. I didn't get the gift. You didn't sing me the song. That right, and we do a lot of that in comparing mind, which is always what egoic, contracted mind. Uh, and then there's a moment where you just see it, and you just open, receptive, and present. And do you feel the welling up of that? You know it, right? I watch the kids at Philabelly. That's one of the places I noticed that. They're not doing anything particularly for me at all. And I just see them acting in kindness. Whether it's taking the thing from me, they take the chairs, I must look 1,000, so they grab the chair. Right, like, oh, don't try to lift that. Especially when I was hobbling around uh, and helping others and putting things away, and they're masterful and they're fast, right? They're skillful. And I can feel the just heart exploding really out of that. But I want us to remember that because I think we frequently mistake gratitude as a thing that we feel when we've gotten something. Hmm. We're going to really look well beyond that to the intentioned kindness And then, from Brother David Stendhal Rast's point of view, all the benefits of all the things, including the elements, the stars, the trees, the seas, the skies, the animals, we will include in this 100 days of acknowledging, recognizing, and then offering gratitude.
Will there also be looking at pain and what that's, how that, because
Pain itself,
well, I feel like I've gone through some painful times in my life and see what to be grateful for in those.
yes. So, yes, will he do it? I don't know, but we
Yeah.
will, which is in any moment of difficulty, it
Mm.
says there is also goodness
Yeah.
abiding.
Mm.
And it is the training, then, in gratitude, we will say, to hold them both. Now, this is a little interesting because in many traditions it says turn towards the good alone. The Buddhist tradition, very differently, says acknowledge the truth of suffering, of pain, of aloneness, of fear, of hunger. We have to, right? We have to tell the whole truth, not be limited in view. And can we, even in this, uh, uh, one might say in a surgery, for example, I didn't happen to have the experience, but most people have pain with it. Can I recognize the truth of pain and also, A, be grateful for the surgeon and her kindness in offering the skill, right? Gratitude for all of those who support it, right? Can they both be true? And the answer is, of course, they are. In fact, they are always true. And can we then point towards the realities of both, the Buddha would say, birth and death, this moment, not one or the other? And Lynn just said something important. Could we be grateful for it all? Could we? The pain, the difficulty, the challenge, the right? And then only from there, the Buddhist teaching says, recognize one's capacity. Because if everything were good all of the time, you wouldn't cultivate that, would you? In fact, what happens when too much good, we'll call it, right? You just expect that. It's just the demand is life should always be easy or my way, or I should. How many kids have I had to coach throughout these 40 years who did not get into Stanford, but who were certain they should? I could have had an entire practice, made a lot of just, well, no, not everyone gets that. Well, but yes, and right, with good skill building and appreciation and all that good that the supports that you receive, and still not exactly like you would have liked, wanted. And then we see what the truth of suffering always being in the clinging, isn't it? Always in the grasping, always in the God as it's supposed to. Why not me? How come this should have happened this way? And then we feel the col- really collapse of that capacity of ours to appreciate everything. I've told this before, and other people know this well. My father, after cancer treatment and surviving it, said, "Wow, I feel so grateful for having that because I better understand some things about love." And I might have missed him. I might have missed it in all of the competence, in all of the I can handle it, in all of the I'm all right. Uh, I might have missed this uh, thing then, really called gratitude, that comes often, doesn't it, for us out of a certain vulnerability, a certain allowing one's humanness, not in all the defense against it. And he was very clear. This was a real opportunity to see uh, not only the need of others, which was important, but the goodness of them in response. True, true gratitude. Gratitude is a spiritual perception. So the Buddha, let me back up. The Buddha felt that gratitude was rare. It was to be trained and cultivated. It did not necessarily occur on its own, even in the face of all of the recognition of goodness, if you didn't stay with it. Now, there's research and science I'll talk about a little that says, in fact, you have to hold a goodness for 15 to 30 seconds in order to be able to then utilize it, call it up, and have it have impact on the heart mind. You can't just see it in flight. You have to hold attention to it. You have to call it out. You have to recognize it as good and goodness, not only in ourselves, but in others, in order to be able to call on the resource. Why? Well, dopamine and serotonin track. They're trackers. They aren't just chemicals. They actually give us the capacity to hold and remember. It's like good film chemistry. And if you cannot resource it, call it back, remember it, right, to use it, what happens in a difficult moment?
It's gone.
We dissolve. There's nothing. It's alone. We're separate. There's nobody. I don't remember the connectedness of all things at all. I'm caught in my own small minded suffering. And so 15 to 30 seconds. So, what would be one of the things we'd have to bring to our 100 days? Now, Brother David is not going to do this. He's not working from that place, but we are. What are you going to have to do? Three things every day. You're going to write them down every day. And what are you going to have to do with those three things every day?
Post them and revisit them. And
Yeah.
sit with it for
Remind, remember, repeat.
Yeah.
Remind, remember, repeat. Remind, remember, repeat. Now, people are going to find this a little bit annoying because I don't want to go back to day one. I'm over here at day 29. I just want to focus on these three. Yes, for at least 15 to 30 seconds. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to go all the back way up to day one and remember, 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 remember. This is going to be our practice for these 100 days. The research said any one act of kindness recognized, any one act. I checked the research because I didn't know this. I thought it was the practice. No, any one act of kindness recognized when they researched it, and they had people all plugged in, elevated one's happy chemicals by 10 to 40%. One act. I was a little struck. I knew that over time that was true, but I did not know a single act could elevate not only the chemistry, but the felt sense of goodness. And then not only the felt sense of goodness, but one's capacity to guess what? See it now, not just there. I've now got the right eyes, the right ears, the right primed like a tuning fork to see goodness now, and then now, and then now. Isn't that exciting? It feels like a wonderful possibility. I am going to lose, uh, I just noticed, I wonder if this isn't on. Let's see. It is not going on.
Yes, it plugs. Yeah.
like it is.
I see they're signaling me that this is. Hang on for just a second, folks. Is there anything more anybody wants to say about this? Anything that doesn't just jive or feels off or
I do have a question.
Yes, Jean. Well, we're working on trying to make sure I have some juice here.
Oh, juice is
Yeah,
good.
juice is good. Okay. Thanks, Dennis. Dennis just, again, tech support. It's Dennis. Thank you very much, Dennis. Yeah, Jean.
I want to check in with you about what you're saying in terms of, then you have the right eyes and the right ears, and you're going
Fine.
inside, hold it for 15 seconds. I found out yesterday my friend is in hospice now. I'm terrible cancer metastasis, and I don't feel good. And as you know, because I'm sad. And
Yeah.
I always recognize the good of that he was alive, that we got to meet, that I got to study with him because he was also my spiritual teacher. But
Yes.
right now in this moment, I even with 15 to 30 seconds, I'm not jumping up and down with gratitude. And I guess my real question is that okay that I can't quite, or I can hold the idea. I certainly am grateful, but
Yes.
I'm not happy, grateful right now.
Yes. That is not. There's no necessity for gratitude to take on a certain affect.
That's what okay. I was,
Gratitude is a recognition,
okay.
and that recognition over time translates into joy, happiness, ease. Uh,
Even you're using the word recognition now, I feel it. It's not just, oh yeah, it's great that he was in my life. It's, oh,
he was in
that's
your life.
so cool, you
He
know?
was in your life,
Yeah.
and that
Okay.
recognition, that reality, that
Sure.
that goodness was
Beautiful.
extended to you
Yeah.
by him, his teachings, his commitments. That's the
And
good.
to many others, I can be grateful for
Oh,
that too
oh,
now.
absolutely.
But
And
that was like a switch.
yeah, isn't there a warmth?
Yeah.
There's a kind of the way it's physiologically is a kind of warmth
Yeah.
actually opens the polyvagal
Yeah.
system. You feel a kind of opening, expanding, even in the face of grief, even in the recognition of the loss of it, which is also, says the Buddha, didn't we just say, critically important, because that is the way we come to understand preciousness, the rarity, the exception of it all. Is that
Yeah.
I have been able to experience this person with this goodness in all of these beneficial ways. And as I sit and think about that, I cry.
Yeah.
This person in their goodness. And I'm crying. I'm not jumping up and down.
And that's
The love
okay.
is here and the gratitude is here.
Yeah.
How fortunate have we been
Yeah.
to have all of that from all these beings, most of whom we have never met. And so, how lucky, how fortunate that you get to go, that person. I know this person and I can hold them lovingly. It is the only way I know that we tolerate the truth of loss, isn't it? Who could bear it otherwise? Because of the goodness that was essential to the reality of grief, the love that was essential. Otherwise, grieve what? What would you grieve? You'd go, thank God, that's gone, right? It is from that very thing. But let's not mistake it for a mood, right? Or then
There is
I
a felt experience.
felt experience, really in deeply embodied experience, and then these little moments of mood appear and disappear, right? Beautiful appearances, but we don't mistake that. So that's yeah. So you don't have to put pressure on yourself that I should now be walking around singing in the rain when I'm
You
also
don't look grateful, Jean. What's your problem? You know? Yeah.
yeah. No,
Thank
no,
you.
there's no truth in it.
Well,
Yeah.
she's equating fullness with happiness.
Yes,
Yeah.
gratefulness and happiness. Gratitude is always first, says the science in Brother David, and happiness is its result. And it isn't necessarily immediate or simultaneous. It isn't like, oh, with gratitude, there that is over and over. And what? Remind, repeat, remember. Remind, repeat, remember. And then we hold that as a, well, someone might say a constant then, wouldn't you? Remind, repeat. It's here, and it's here, and it's here, and it's here, and it doesn't take away my grief. It wasn't supposed to. In fact, the grief sometimes, I think, in all of that gratitude can be at least momentarily larger, couldn't it? Because we're going, that's changed in some, right? And though I have deep gratitude, I'm also in a loss experience with it looking like that, with it looking just like that. So thank you, Jean. That's a beautiful thing for us all to know. Gratitude is not merely a polite emotion. We in our Western culture get into the thank you and very quickly and not looking anybody in the eye, right? Thanks, off we go because that's polite. And we mistake politeness for kindness. They are not the same. So do not mistake them. Polite is polite. Etiquette's etiquette. Manners are manners. This has nothing to do with that. In fact, most of our gratitude, what's the truth of it, is never expressed like that. Most of our gratitude. Why? I should be in that all the time, every moment, in some way, for that peach blossom that I'm looking at right now. I'm not, right? For all of the infinite things that we're going to feel grateful for. Most of it will not go expressed because it's continuous and fleeting. It comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes, and it comes. And that's its nature. When we practice gratitude, we begin to notice, what do we notice? First, the kindness of others, not just towards us. Remember, we have to be careful. It's a little bit of a tendency. The support of what? This earth and all the things. Brother David will talk a lot about that. The support of this very sun, this very waters, this very earth. Um, Remember, just from the Buddhist point of view, appreciation for the generosity of the universe itself, says Brother David. All that is beyond the sun, the sky, the waters that we can't see, that we can't know, that is present. Someone would say something like, I guess, Jean, maybe in Toltec, something like spirit energies, or right, everything that's not seeable, knowable, feelable, and present. And can we also be grateful for that? And then one of my favorites, the fragile miracle of being alive. This fragile, fragile miracle of being alive that we take so for granted. Like, and then there's tomorrow, and then there's the next day, and then there's 72, and then there's 82, and then there's, according to my mother, 92, 102, and probably 112. Right? And can you see what happens the minute we do that? It shifts, doesn't it? Did anybody feel that? Like, uh-oh. Because now we have expectation, demand. Life needs to be offering, gifting me. It has nothing anymore to do with the actual acts of intentioned goodness towards others should be happening. And then I feel I should be, then we bring shoulds, grateful for that. So we're going to be watching these distinctions, aren't we? Because some of this is absolute gratitude, some of this is not, and we have to be careful. Gratitude shifts our attention. Of course, we know this from a self-centered, egoic, me, mine, I perspective to what? That which is larger, we'll just say. I just want to leave it there. There's some perspectives on this. I don't think they're helpful today. It isn't just the other, it's just larger than just me, mine, and I. And so it could include Tanya's care of the dog, couldn't it? It could include just in that recognition. There can, again, once again, be that felt sense, said Jim, of there is goodness here, kindness in the world. What's the research say? I already said a little about it. I'll just say one or two more things. Greater happiness and life satisfaction the more we practice gratitude. That gratitude is a practice. It is not something that we're waiting for based on what we get. This is a completely mixed up understanding. I remember once my brother left the Christmas morning because he didn't yet see the gift he wanted. And he got up and he sort of charged off. And I remember my parents going, I don't even know if he should get it now. Like there's something, it was there. It was just impatience and right. and he stormed off and he didn't come out for a couple hours. And there was a lot of conversation about that, which is this isn't about life going your way. That's not the definition of gratitude. It's about being grateful then for what? And this is our key point. It doesn't mean you get the health you want. It doesn't mean you got the partner that was most loving. It doesn't mean you had the parent who was perfect. You didn't. So then what?
Grateful for what is.
Everything.
And this is big practice, isn't it? Grateful for everything. You said that earlier too, didn't you? Grateful for everything. This difficulty, this opportunity to,
Heartbreak.
yes, to see clearly, to open more, and to open to my own suffering, my own difficulties as well, right? Gratitude for that. Remember when I was going to New Zealand and I had that episode on the plane where I went into some fairly serious doubt and like, uh-oh, I don't think I didn't bat 1,000 if this thing goes down. I got a couple things I maybe need to reflect more on or do better, whatever. And remember what I said ultimately? How grateful am I for this opportunity to see that work to do? That there was yet practice here for me, and that I have an opportunity to do it. Really big bonus that I can now come back and go, we need to look more at those. I was making them way too large. Certain. So, how does gratitude relate to the deathless? Well, the Buddhist teaching says this: suffering arises when we cling, freedom arises when we open. Gratitude is the door of opening and awakening. Gratitude itself. You can use gratitude as a beautiful kind of a measuring stick for one's capacity to open. And opening and awakening are understood to be in succession, they're in order. We open first and then we awaken to all that is really here for us, and then stay present to it, and then consequently grow the good all the more, right? And the science supports us in that. So then, even in illness, aging, and death, infinite opportunities for gratitude. And as Jean said, maybe it doesn't look like ha 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 ha. Maybe it is simply the gratitude for this precious human life and the opportunity to have gained some capacity for understanding something about it, the mystery that has been revealed to you in this life, in this amount of time, with these conditions. Yeah. Okay. We're ready to practice? I think so. Okay. Push there. I saw one thing. I was a little curious about it. It comes from the. I'll talk with those who have a Judaic teaching. There was a quote I really liked. It's one I want to use in this 100-day transformation that we're going to participate in. And so, in the Christian tradition, I guess they would call this transformation a resurrection. I think, right? Something like that, the resurrection from the from death to the deathless, really, right? And then maybe with words like salvation or eternal life over there, everlasting life, um, but over there, not here and now. And I would say one of the distinctions in the Buddhist tradition is they see that as being present, not something that you get to eventually. It is something that is available now, and that is the definition of the deathless. It's available right now, and that's all there. And then you, right now. So there is continued work and practice for us in it. Okay. Looking for my bell and the striker. Here we go. So finding that comfortable posture. Seeing if you can invite a little openness in the body. And then as we sit and breathe here, we're simply going to invite the felt sense of being alive. The felt sense of being alive. And that includes a couple of things right away. One is just awareness of the body. All the sensations, all of the information coming from this body into recognition, just this sitting here. And then even in the Bodhisattva path, gratitude becomes very important, and it's important for igniting the bodhicitta heart. In fact, the recollection is of all the good that has come throughout all time to support you being alive, present, and awake right here. That's a gratitude statement. All that which has come throughout all time that has contributed to the reality of this precious human life, accorded to few, and to then its potential, its capacity for awakening. And the Buddha said, this comes like a strike of a bolt of lightning, setting the heart mind awake and on fire. If we can even grasp this possibility. And in this we'll sit. And the teachings say, turn the mind in any direction, inner, outer, or both. You will find something for which to grow, feel, and train in the cultivation of gratitude. There are sounds and sensations, that felt sense of aliveness, just this present moment and all that is within it. And there is all that has contributed to it, for which we are also grateful. And then the instruction is to, no matter what else you are grateful for, the sun, the moon, the stars, the Sangha, the truth of the Dharma being offered to you this lifetime, we accord first a gratitude to our mothers and fathers. And I think that's a beautiful way to clean out a closet of resentment, of suffering. That whatever else was true, they accorded us this human life, which was their primary job. And the rest is ours. And then, if you can, recollect their moments of intentioned goodness. They fed you, they bathed you, they carried you, they clothed you. We can recollect the good right here and hold it for a time. Let it permeate not only the thoughts, but the whole of the body experience. I am here because of them and their goodness. And feel the felt sense of that acknowledgement. No matter what else is true, they have done their job as evidenced by you. And so we offer gratitude to our parents. And then see how that naturally arises for you. It may come in a set of words. It may come in that felt sense. I just feel kind of a warmth and a smile. And then we can extend that heart and feel gratitude for all those others who have contributed to our well-being, to our happiness, to our being alive. And of course, you could spend lifetimes in this recollection. But let's take some time here. There are likely a few who stand out. And feeling gratitude for their contribution. This is likely evidence of goodness, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, a friend, partner. And we recognize their commitment of time, of energy towards your well being. And we let it permeate once again beyond the mind into the whole of the body. It may have been a lifelong relationship or a brief moment. They both matter. And you might notice that as you are cultivating this felt sense of gratitude, that the images aren't even important. There's a way of resting right in the grateful heart. You can feel its expanse, its warmth, its room, and its ever present opening. Nothing contracted or limiting. You can rest in the reality of gratitude itself, feeling its goodness. There are two kinds of rare people in this world: one who enacts the kindness, and the one who recognizes it as done. And we rest in that very recognition and in that felt sense. A body filled, a heart mind filled with a recognition of gratitude. And we can use the body itself. So, seeing if you can't make contact with the felt sense of the body once again, sitting here. Noticing its capacity to hold us to, to stable, grounded source. Notice the breath itself moving easily, freely, effortlessly in and out of the body. Nothing to do. Seeing if you can notice the mind's capacity to awaken to the ever rightness of the body, no matter how it is. There are things that feel good and things that don't feel good, things that are in balance, things that are not in balance, and there is this capacity of mind to attend to it all. Ever moving towards right inward measure. The capacity to attend, to bring kind attention, caring attention to our own bodies, and to respond. Can we feel the gratitude for that very capacity? And sometimes the capacity is towards balance or cure, righting the body. And sometimes the very right thing is to be in the process of dissolving or letting go. Nothing to fix, only to heal. The body becomes irrelevant ultimately towards this other greater source called love. And we can be grateful for this. And then we are grateful for our own capacity to love, our own capacities for kindness. We are both the one taking the action and the one recognizing that it is done. The two most rare people in the world. And we are both. We are all capable of this. And then, just for a moment, we're going to establish our intention and our commitment for this 100-day practice. And of course, there is no 100-day limit. This is a lifetime practice. We will awaken and be grateful for the day. And then we will live the day awake to all of the goodness, all of the kindness all around. And we'll stop and breathe it in. And it will shape your day and your heart. So much so that we will come in this 100 days and beyond to see the goodness and then the resulting gratitude in everything, including the difficult, because this too holds goodness. It will take a commitment, a discipline. We'll have to practice the pause. We'll have to step out of our busy, task-centered minds to ignite the heart-mind of gratitude. And then we're going to rest for a moment when we do this in our practice in the day and feel the effects. Feel the good medicine that gratitude is by itself. And the morning practice that I'd like us to undertake that comes from the Jewish tradition is a quick prayer, I think. I think it would be considered a prayer. Mm. And it is, who is rich? Who is rich? One who rejoices in what one has. Who is rich? One who rejoices in what one has. The gift of the day. We remember then that wealth, ease, happiness is not dependent on the things around us, but merely the quality of our own heart mind. There is nothing more to acquire. for true abiding happiness, then recognizing the good that is already here. And may this happiness pervade the whole of your mind body being and radiate outward in infinite, limitless, boundless capacities, touching all beings and all things. So be it. So, are we getting the idea for our practice? I will send this little reminder about the little phrase at the beginning, or find your own, of course. Setting the mind right from the first awakening with the gratitude for the day, right? Gratitude for the day in which we get to love, connect, heal, support, belong. Anybody see any particular challenges? There's a little written. I already looked. Did anybody look? You've gotten, if you signed up, you got already your little email this morning.
Aren't they a little was it sort of rose-colored glasses that David used this morning?
I didn't see him.
Oh, no, well, whoever wrote
Yeah.
the statement talked about how, wake up and the world is at peace.
Ah,
And, that's a challenging
yes.
concept.
Concept when,
I sort of understand it, but
yes.
it's not an easy concept.
Well, remember that what they're always talking about is that there is pervading peace in this world. It is, in fact, a truth. Even when there is momentary disruption of peace, that the momentary disruption is simply the appearance. It is not the truth of our being. It is not the truth of our capacities. It doesn't mean there isn't war, because you'd be crazy if you said so. But that is not the pervading reality in this world.
I think it was a prompt to visualize a world in which,
There is peace, that pervading peace.
yes,
Yes.
and that world leaders were coming together for our highest and best, and which is
Imagining that happening. Yeah. This is a little interesting because, from the Buddhist point of view, he says, don't imagine what isn't here, see what is. So, I love these opportunities. Aren't they amazing? Like, see the peace that is here, not imagine a peace that isn't. It doesn't mean you can't also then, from that, go, how do I propagate that? Well, how do you? By being peaceful myself. And then, isn't there greater peace right there? The minute you direct your heart mind in that, or right towards that, and that's the envisioning, right? But not a peace that isn't real, We have to begin with the peace that is. All the countries that are not at war, all the Palestinians that are not hating the Israelis, and the Israelis that are not hating the Palestinians, they exist. They exist. They're groups, aren't there? They're going, this is nuts. We can't keep doing this. That's so heartening for me, right? We're not going to just go, it's not you, it's us or them, or it's, right? Pakistan that said, look, guys, let's try to get this together. Hey, come here, right? We have to remember that because if we can't remember it, we can't be it. You can feel the flag and you can't, like, oh, this is right. Because it also means we are imbalanced. We are now imbalanced, right? This is the same truth as the body, right? We can focus on that toe. I have a little, I think they call them ingrown toenail thing happening right now. I could just focus on that and spend a pretty miserable set of days. Now, I don't have to ignore it either. I don't have to pretend like it's not there. I don't have to go, why did it happen to me in the middle of everything else? What if this turns into an infection and kills me? Rah, 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 rah. I don't have to do that. And I can hold the truth of it so that I can attend skillfully, right? Which means I'm not going to wear shoes that are going to press against it. I'm going to soak it, see if there's something else I can do. I've got my fabulous 30-year pedicurist.
Yay.
Yeah, right? All the good, then I can be responsive. And then we have the other truth is that there will be a thing there is nothing to do with. We have to be able to hold this too, right? There'll be a day that there will be an infection that isn't fixed, that doesn't get cured, that isn't remediated. And can we hold that with gratitude as well for a life lived? We have to then get bigger than the infection for life lived, for love lived, right? Can we hold that too, right? What did Jean say? Not only because we can't deny grief as a practice. We can hold it though in the face of the infinite love in which it was grief could not be born without, isn't it? There would be no grief without love. And so, uh, if you're having trouble with that imagining, I don't think that's such a problem. I think it's always good to start where we are. The peace that's here, the quiet that's here, the beauty that's here, the love that's here, right? Rather than try to make something up in the mind. That's that positive psychology model that doesn't always hold up. Just visualize it and then it shall be so is not actually. It is a possible path. Can I visualize it and then take action towards it? Yes. Right.
I wanted to share a gratitude experience yesterday. It's spontaneous, Mike. I meet with a bunch of mature physicians.
I'm not with him.
No, no.
Oh, he meant old. He meant old. He just didn't say it.
And we went around, and the guy who put it together went and said, let's take a moment, and you've all had long, illustrious careers. Let's take a moment to reflect on something that really was meaningful. Maybe gratitude, even he may not have said gratitude. And the senior member of our group is 95.
Wow.
He actually practiced until he was 90.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not totally shocked at what he said, but it was so brief. He said, I loved my patients and they loved me. That was it. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's over and above all the shit that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the most prevailing thing. I mean,
That's
I
right.
deal with death every single day,
That's right.
but I see the love that's there
That's right.
and the opportunities that happen because a body has died.
Yeah.
So think that it's all shit.
No, it isn't all. And often what was the flimsy, there's a poet who said something like the flimsy veil of love falls away. The easy version. As long as you're good and I'm good and we're all good, we're good. And that love is easy. But it falls away at death. There's no more, well, because I got from you and you loved me and I loved you, because that's going to end right there. Because you're not going to be loving me anymore. And can I still love you? And it may not be an equal exchange in that way. I don't know if that's true. And I do know that my loving is enough. I'm very certain about it. And I don't know who loves me back, and I don't even think about it. Right? It's not the point. It's enough. It's enough that I propagate something towards that. And death often is a place where we go, oops, it's gone. The exchange is gone, right? And now that that's gone, look what happens to families. Carrie does this every single day. There's a fracture, sometimes temporary and sometimes permanent, which is, well, now that we don't have that glue or that continuity or that grandpa or that dad or that mom or that somebody holding us, we are at least momentarily dissolved ourselves. And it is true, isn't it? It's real. It's true. And then are we able, through some kind of new love, really, the love for the now, the love for who we are as siblings and right, to come back together? And the answer is not always. We don't see it, do we? We see it stay fractured. Uh, the sibling difficulty the gets worse. I have my kid's godmother's confronting that after her brother died, and it's a little shocking because, like, well, I thought we were all kind of together. Well, you were possibly in that way for that moment, and now there's the new love. This is, well, what's the point of Easter, really? Right? What's the love now, after the dissolution, after the when there isn't the known, the familiar, the countable, right? I can guarantee this. How do we love now? How do we love now? Right? And remember, I think it's in the Christian, again, I'm always ad libbing here, sometimes more than less. I think when, as I understand it, those who have a Christian rooted tradition, I think when Jesus first came out, there was a little distress. I don't think it was like, yay. I think it was like, what? What's
Yeah.
going on? It was disruptive, wasn't it? Like, what's up? This is, I thought you said, right? And it wasn't just, oh, this is beautiful and one. There was a whole reestablishment, really coming back together in a new way. This is the whole point of rebirth and renewal, isn't it? Not the same old, not like we were. And if we could see that that's actually every moment, then we wouldn't be so resistant, would we? We'd say love like now. What's that look like? That's not looking like yesterday's love and the days before. And look at how we all resist that. I want it like it used to be, says every one of my couples in my office. Every one of them. What about that? I want that sex. I want that admiration. I want that fun. I want that energy. I want that attention. I want it like that. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not here. But there is something here. And we can cultivate, grow, create this. And actually beyond than just cravings and lust and, right, towards compassion, kindness, friendship, that is ultimately, what did we say at the beginning? Undying. Undying. Right? And we all struggle, don't we, too? And this really, for me, is a beautiful opportunity for us to work together. So I'm going to ask a few things. I'm going to ask that you get some paper. I'm going to ask that you keep your 3 things for which you are grateful every day. I'm going to ask that you recite something like awakening to the day. This day is, I make this day. I make this love in this day, however you say this. Uh,
Can I?
Yes.
I'm just going to read one Jewish
Yes, I would love that.
poem that or
Thank
prayer
you.
that is said in the morning, and
Love
it's
that.
I offer thanks to you, living and eternal King, um, for you have mercifully restored my soul within me. Your faithfulness is great, and the belief is that every day, like you were kind of saying,
Every
you
day.
can wake up and be restored in any way you want.
Yes.
You don't have to wake up and be the.
Yes. Well, you are deciding
Mhm.
how to live this day. And if you don't set the mind, we already know in the science, if you're not setting the mind towards that possibility, it cannot be realized. Right? One of my 3 intentions every day is love. Every single day. Why? I will never perfect it. It is only alive now. It is only what's available, right? Today, this version, this moment. Is there anybody who needs me to send any part of the 100-day? I'm looking for mine. I don't see it. Um,
The email?
yeah,
Didn't it come yesterday?
It came yesterday.
I didn't see it yesterday.
I didn't see
I got
mine
it this morning.
yesterday.
I didn't get mine till the middle of the night.
Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Grateful living.
Ah, there's mine.
Grateful Living. Everybody have access to that. I will put out something about what we're going to be working on very specifically, and I brought some carrot.
Oh, it's under my
Oh,
chair.
here, get that.
It was on.
So in
goody.
celebration,
Do
of
I get to go first?
new life, yes, of course you do. It's in your hand. These are no sugar.
No.
Pineapple.
The recipe, so I took
Now, I'm curious. One of the things I want everybody to do is see if you noticed the pineapple, because half of our family did not. Never even noticed it was in there, like
I don't know.
pineapple in here.
He's asking about gluten.
There's flour in there. Yeah, flour.
Yeah, there's a napkin.
There's coconut, pineapple, flour, white flour, eggs, walnuts, just for allergies and things that might, and pineapple. You do pick up the pineapple. Yeah, family was not able to get it. Half the family missed. You could pick up the pineapple. Oh, of course, carrots. Probably one of the moisture. Yeah, it must be the pineapple, right? Because it's water holding and fibrous.
I get pineapple.
You do get it too. We don't eat a lot of pineapple, so we may not be very familiar. Jim, I apologize. I could have thrown a little almond flour in there instead. It just didn't occur to me.
It's right underneath you, Jim. It's right underneath your sheet, right
Oh.
up.
Did you drop that? You
No,
want?
I didn't drop it.
You didn't drop it. You want to trade it? All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm chewing, so while I'm chewing, it will be slightly more difficult to do the Bodhisattva prayer. Might find this is.
Oh, look out.
Oh yeah. No, not that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now you like me, right? Yeah. Sure. Okay, I'm cleansing the mouth. Please let me know if anybody has any challenges with the 100-day website, or if you didn't get it. We'll try to make sure you did. I just got it, so it's definitely coming at different times. Keep your logs. We're going to be looking at them each time we're together. So we have to, one of the things that's important is that we stay in act. Oh, it's my son. Okay, I'll get him in a minute. That we stay in active participation. Active participation. There is no 100-day, right? It's just today. And then not today. We can't even worry about this afternoon. It's just now. Can I stay really awake to this, looking for the evidence for the goodness, and then stopping to feel that effect? And that's the gratitude I think we're gonna we can all connect with.
You can sit on my lap, but you're not getting in.
No,
treat.
no, nope, no, down.
We
Not
don't
you.
get a bag.
You're gluten free.
I'm not giving him any.
Gluten free dog. No.
Got it.
Okay. Nope. Sorry, buddy.
No treat begging.
So, feeling that the joyful effect, again, the expansion, the warmth, the connection, and maybe ease. And then we let the breath breathe us. There is no striving for another life, another moment. There is only arriving with gratitude for this one. And then we offer the prayer in kindness, in support. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. May we all be happy, truly happy. May we all be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May we all be grateful, joyful, and glad, recognizing all the goodness within and all around, and committing ourselves to propagating, to cultivating, to expanding that goodness each breath. May we rest and dwell in this vast open heart, filled with gratitude at the preciousness of this human life, in our capacity not only for awakening, but for love. May our practice contribute, may it continue. So be it. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I am grateful. I'm grateful for you and your goodness. Thank you so much. Is little man begging for the
He's
carrot?
trying.
He's trying to.
He's trying.
Sort of quietly. Not,
But he's not.
I gave my
Quietly begging.
Oh yeah, he's
Politely.
that's a little surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that would
He
be
walked
your
away
thing.
when I just turned my head.
Uh-huh.
He walked away and left.
Well, there's no hope for you. If you can't see me,